Back in September 2020, we sold our house in the UK, then moved to Normandy in France, where we bought an ancient French farmhouse with various outbuildings, including an old barn, a small cottage with 2 woodlands, and 3.5 acres of pastured land in a beautiful national park area. Follow us on our journey as Budo and I renovate the farmhouse, manage our land and take on many projects for you to enjoy. Let the fun begin.
Welcome folks.
Bonjour everyone.
You see we're in a different position now.
And it's called
Compost Corner. We're under the pear tree, but we got just here is the compost, and we call this part of the field the compost corner, don't we?
We've always called it that.
Because we're making it into compost in this corner. So in our garden segments we're going to be in compost corner for you if the weather's permitting, and while we're doing the renovation and all the other stuff, we'll still be in caravan corner, so you ain't lost that. No. Because I know there's a few of you out there enjoy us chatting and that. So today we've been doing the apple tree. We cleared all around the apple tree, took the low branches off, because when I was taking the tractor around there I kept getting like bits of branches hitting me in the face, and that it was a bit dangerous. So we've cleared them up to a certain height, and it needed it anyway because there was a lot of dead branches, a lot of dead wood in there, weren't there? Yep. And we've got that all out now, cleared all the ground underneath it. You'll see that in the video anyway. And had a bit of fun, didn't we?
Yes, we did, doing the bumps.
And then we planted out some shallots as well. Yeah. So this is October now, and it's a good time for garlic, shallots. You can get your broad beans out, and there's a few other things, spinach.
What else did we buy? Can't think. No, not pak choy.
Pak choy, yeah, you can get pak choy out. So you can get, there's certain things you can get out in October, and they're tolerant to the frost and that. If you get it, like, you don't get a lot of frost here, so it's it gets a bit nippy at night, but you don't get hard frost as you do in the UK. So hopefully we'll be it's a learning process. We're learning, aren't we? Yeah, you learn, and then you also do things the way you've always done them, but then you learn there might be a quicker way of doing something, or someone might say, oh, try this, or so you're always learning when you do gardening. Well, we spent a little while in England learning, you know, and making mistakes, and that's how you learn anyway. But so the rest of the video is just basically clearing up the apple tree around here, clearing it up, cutting up some wood, and then we've been planting the shallots out. And if I get enough footage of it, I'll show me just doing a bit of manipulation around the compost heap, trying to, because I'm now all 3 heaps are ready, and I'm consolidating them into one big heap, and then get some tarps over them and cover them up. Yeah, then they'll be protected. Yeah, once I get that bit finished over there, then I can get some tarps on it, but I've got to do some more filming on that. And we've started our wood chip pile now, because we're looking into buying a wood chipper, aren't we? Which definitely I think will be a brilliant idea. This tree we're sitting under here, the branches were right down low here underneath, so we've took all them up, and we've done the apple tree. We've got some other apple trees about and some other trees to sort out, but as we're cutting them off, we're putting them in a pile over next to where the compost is here, onto the right, my left hand side, if you like. We've got a big pile of branches and twigs, which we're going to put through the wood chipper. We're going to buy a wood chipper, a good one. I've got Roy on the case, old Roy from the West Country. He knows all about this sort of stuff, so he's looking out for one for us. And he'll be firing over the links, no doubt. Or he said he'll try and get one with an engine that we can convert to go onto the tractor in some way. We'll sort that out. But that'll be great, because we've got so much foliage here and wood. Trees and branches. We've got oaks for, I don't know, 500 metres, 500 yards or whatever, and we got, you know, stuff to cut to above head level, and we will have a ton of wood chips, and that will we won't be wasted, because it will go into all our paths. Definitely, that was the idea, wasn't it? It was the idea, yeah. Triggered it off. It will go into the pathways between the beds. It'll also go into compost, so it will help heat the compost up and generate heat there. And so it's going to be a good investment. We're going to buy recycling, aren't you? You're taking from the land and sort of putting it back in the land, aren't you? Or on the land, and so I think it's a great idea. We see a little video the other day. We put our little grandson up. We had to, didn't we? He's so funny. Archie, because he doesn't say no words yet. He's only 10 months, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
It's all and ga, gada.
But he doesn't say a lot, and he was saying this woof woof. He kept woofing because he saw the dogs and they were woofing, and we just thought it was so cute. You had to have a look at that. So if you ain't seen that, have a look at that little video. It's only a couple of minutes.
And I put another one. I took a couple of videos. There's another one as well on our Instagram page. So pop along there and have a look there as well. So
a bit more of a description on what we're doing here. We're going to have these compost corners.
Yeah.
We're going to call it, and we're going to do a lot of gardening over the next few years. And we're going to, you know, give you lots of parts of our journey, what we're doing in the garden, how things are growing, stages as they're growing and coming up, and then the harvesting.
What we do with the produce.
What we do with the produce. Tracy makes stuff. She'll be doing cooking segments. We might add that into our gardening programs as part as more than our renovation.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it'd be nice to have
together, doesn't it? The cooking, the vegetables.
They do, but I think if we you know, keep gardening and cooking at one and renovation, then you get to choose what you want to watch, because some people don't like gardening, some people don't like renovation.
Yeah, so
you know, but we're trying to pull you all in and enjoy it, and you know, come on board and be realistic about our lives. You know what we're doing. We're not here doing a little bit of renovation and that's it. We live as well. We're trying to grow for the future. And that was one of the reasons we came here.
Definitely, for
so
the
we
space,
could grow
wasn't it?
Space,
as well, yeah.
growing, enjoying nature, being self-sufficient, and that's one of the big things. We want to be self-sufficient, and we want to be like homesteading everything, you know, cooking and looking after, and a little bit of prepping, you know, prepping stuff for the times that are coming, you know, because you can see there is a lot of problems in the world. You know, there's a lot of control going on at the moment, and we need to sort of make sure that we are self-sustaining and we can grow our food and be prepared. And I think everyone should be on that boat as well, you know, without going into the deep politics of it. People need to look into that and start preparing for the future.
Because a lot of the time we've just sort of, well, people in general have just sort of closed their ears to it, haven't they, their eyes, and think, oh, it's not that bad. But things, you know, you don't have to be a conspiracist, or things are definitely changing.
Definitely.
We can all see that.
You mean you just, you know, the fuel is going up, food's going up, energy's going up. It's all that part of control. You know, there is a part of control there, I'm sorry to say it. And they do it with this anyway. But anyway, guys, we are in the garden and it's beautiful. The sun's coming out again. We're going to finish off a few bits, but that's basically caravan. Oh no, it ain't a caravan corner.
No,
it's compost corner.
Compost corner, boy. You got that wrong there, you did.
Compost corner, and that's what you're going to see sometimes. Tell us if you like it or not. Tell us what you think. Give us your ideas.
I'm sure they will.
And you know, we've got so much content to show you in the future. And also, I'd like to say as well, you know, if you're enjoying our channel and enjoying what we're doing, and you know, you want to come on board and give us some support for our channel, we've got a patrons page. You're welcome to, you know, have a look and join it. Be part of it.
Behind the scenes. You'll get extra footage. You'll get notified as well when of certain things we do, or certain things we bought, and it's all fun, isn't it? And
we're going to definitely put a lot more on the patrons pages as well, for people to get a little bit ahead of everyone else on things that are coming up. And also, don't forget, you know, like, share and subscribe. It does help us if you like and subscribe to us, because the YouTube analytics looks at that and you know, tries to push us on a little bit, because we're staying at that mark at the moment around about 5,000, is it, or something? I haven't looked for a little while, but it's about 5,000 subscribers, and you know, we need to sort of push that on a bit and move forwards. And the only way we're going to do that is if you watch us, you like and share and subscribe to us. Anyway, guys, and that's it.
Have a good week, and we'll see you next week in Compost Corner. Bye.
Bye. So good morning, folks. Up here in the field, if you like, just doing a little bit of trimming up for the winter. I'm going to spin you around, as I say. So, right at the back of the field up on the hill. Brought the Sammy tractor up. Gonna, you can see they've got the little chainsaw on there. Going to do some work on this apple tree. It's been neglected for many years, The apples ain't bad, but my future of making cider and apple juices and things like that, so we want to keep this apple tree, it's good for that. But there's a lot of low level branches hanging right down on all of it, so I'm going to trim all this tree up. And the reason I want to do that is one thing, it's good for the tree, it's not so heavy, and secondly, as you notice under here, under this tree, we can't get the tractor around it to do the job quickly, if you like, and it has to be done with a strimmer. So I've left it grow, you know. I can't get the tractor in there. You can see the field. Look, I've done all the field, I've cut it all down ready for winter now, so it's all just grass now. We're going to go around and do the edges probably, we'll see, we've got time this year, but I want to trim this all as well. And then I might start over that area there, because we've got about a third or a quarter of an acre going back in there, which needs all cutting back as well. But so I'm up here today, have a little clear out, another part for the gardening segment, and you can see, look, a potage or gardening for growing is all over there, starting now. You saw that in the last bit of the video. So folks, you see the old tractor made light work of that. Just cleared all this up around the tree now. So we cut all the low branches on the apple tree, so we could get a tractor under there, keep it clear and tidy. We'll keep this clean and raked up as well. So next year, as the apples start to drop, they'll drop on nice clean ground, and we'll be able to gather them and sort out the best and the worst. And the worst will go to the piggies, as we said. But that tractor is just so easy with that, you know, with the flower mower on the back, or yeah, flower mower I think it's, yeah. Anyway guys, that was that little apple tree clearing moment for us. Now we move on to something else over there. We've you might be thinking, oh, what are they gardening for all the time? We're not. We're just spending 2 or 3 days up here and getting the beds ready, getting things tidied up, ready for winter, and just spending 3 or 4 days even, just you know, doing something different, because renovation for a few years gets monotonous, you know, and you want to try different things out and just keep up with the other things you need to be doing. But all the land's nice and cut, except for the big bit at the back here. I've left that. Next year we'll tackle the forest, or the woodland. We'll start to pull out old trees with a tractor, and I've got a winch so I can start pull stuff out and bring it up here and sort it out, cut it up, process it, use what we're going to use. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little segment. So we're here with Tracy now doing some onions.
Onions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just tell you what they're called.
She's going to tell us what they're called, because she has to speak up, Tracy.
Onion Juan Stuttgarter Raisin.
Yeah, so they are
German or Dutch, are they maybe?
Dutch probably, I don't know.
Dutch.
But they are onion sets.
Yes.
And there's quite a few in there.
There is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them 4 to a row.
Yep.
And I've got my little handmade stick that I've just made. It's roughly probably about 6-7 inches
6 inch or so, yeah,
wide. And all I'm doing is same concept as with the garlic. The node bit has to go down and you want the tip facing up. Already made a hole and I'm literally just pushing it in and just covering it.
I'll come over.
Can you see? Because you want the tips above ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So the tips above the ground.
A little one there.
To get
like
it's how
this,
you
so
how you plant it basically.
Yep, so your nodes like this.
Yep.
Let's see if I can stretch over. Same concept with that. Just goes.
That's it.
Like that.
It's a nice one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's a lovely one.
So you're going to put 4 in a row.
Yeah, 4 in a row. So we'll probably get 8, 12, 16, 20.
20 in a little segment.
In each segment.
So me and Tracy, I'll just explain this as well. We sat down and thought about this over the time we did gardening before.
Yep.
So what we call these is the bay. So we call this is a growing bed and we number the bed. Okay, so when we have 8 here, they will all be individually numbered. Tracy keeps a book and she'll keep it all through the year. Yep. And it will tell each bay what's growing in there, roughly how many, and how many bays we've got. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 bays which are about 1.20 m each or something like that. And Tracy will also designate what bays. So it'll be bay, there'll be, say, let's go back up here. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 bays of Provence garlic.
1 bay of white garlic.
Yep.
Then how many I plant
of onions. So I think we'll have all these as onions, won't we?
So when I refer back as a reference to my book, excuse me, I'll know that in bay 1, 2, 3, 4 that the garlics, and if I wanted to know what's in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then I know.
They'll always be in the book, so we can refer to that for next season. And
also we're going to put what the day was like, the temperature, whether it was mild, bit chilly, so we know that was a good time if we get a good year.
Yeah, we know what the weather was like when we planted out, what that month was like, and what's good about that is it keeps a record for me and Trace as we go forward over the years, and we can, we can add more to the onions if we want more or less next year. We'll find out what we need to sustain us and our friends, because we'll be giving a lot to our local friends.
We're doing what they call bartering as well.
Bartering,
so maybe getting some eggs from Claire and I give her some vegetables.
Yeah.
But also I'm going to keep the smaller ones back.
Yeah.
And probably keep maybe
put them down on the last bay.
Yeah, 1 or 2 bays at the bottom here.
Yep.
And we're going to keep them for spring onions.
So we're going to, that's it. So we can take them a bit early, can't we? And they're like a spring onion then if you take them early. Yeah. It's now winter, coming in winter, so these ain't going to grow on too well. It's going to get a good head start and it'll probably stop them bolting. When the new season comes, the growing season, because they've got that hit of cold, that will help them. We know that.
But we're also going to, because we've got this netting in abundance, haven't we? We're going to put this all over the hoop to protect it from the birds. And
I was going to talk about that anyway. Yeah. But so this netting here, we have a load of this. I've just brought this up now and thrown it over so you can see it. But I've got little clamps. And ties, cable ties, so I can hold this down on there. And what this will do is we'll keep the birds off of these onions, because these onion sets, they've got little heads coming out of the ground and they think they're worms, so they pull them out. And we've got to make sure that they're protected. And this is good enough that it will stop birds getting in, but it will let the rain in and all the other stuff. So we're trying to, aren't we, Trey, to have a start off right in the beginning, get it the best we can, and give you as much information as we can how we're doing it and what we're learning as well, because we watch a couple of other people on YouTube which are gardeners and have watched them for many years, haven't we? And we find them very, very, very informative. Hey, look, it's blowing off. So you need to clip it. No, I just put it down to show people. We got a lot of that. But Charles Downing, Tony from Simply Grow, and a couple of other people we watch. One in Australia or New Zealand, was he? No, New Zealand.
Oh, I can't think
Forget his name now.
Not
Here We Grow.
No.
Something like that, yeah. But anyway, we do watch a few. And we watch a few Allotmenteras in England, which have got some fantastic little tips. So if you're into gardening, you know, it's worth looking around, because you'll find something on YouTube, and we're learning from them, and we're learning from our experience when we was in England doing this. And we'll be doing other things like not only the growing, but we'll be getting poultry, chickens. We'll be getting eventually the guinea fowl, some geese, turkeys. We'll probably have a couple of goats. Definitely would like to get some pigs as well. Look at that buzzard up there, look. I don't know if you can see it, anyone? Flying up there, just up there. Looks like a kite, actually. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Tracy's going to plant away, get all these in, and we'll have our onions for next year. We're going to have plenty in there, a couple of hundred, don't we?
Yeah, well, I use onions every
Onions
day.
is a staple base. Everyone has it. You know, if you're prepping or you're homesteading, you need lots of onions, lots of potatoes, lots of shallots, lots of garlic.
Yeah.
They're all good things we eat. Broad beans are very good because you can make a lot of things with them.
Well, I've made
Good fillers.
with parma ham, with
Yeah.
pastors and everything.
And my favourite's going to be going in very soon, spinach.
Yeah,
I've got to grow a whole length of this 50 foot, nearly, is it? Nearly, something like that, of spinach. Because I'll probably eat about 5 foot a day.
Budo's got a little trick here that he does with our netting, because we're just covering it over everything that I've just planted.
I got the idea one day when you was doing curtain tracks.
Blinds.
For making blinds and that.
Yeah.
The connections. But anyway, so what I do is I use these cable ties. Cheap as chips. We get 100 for £2. €2, sorry. In Action.
Yeah.
Action.
Action.
I think it was Action. So come this way. So the first thing I do is on this mesh. This is builder's mesh. You know, they cover the builders scaffolds with, yeah. And I use this to keep the birds out. There's a centre line on all of them. There's always a centre line every metre, I think. A cable tie them onto the centre, pulling them tight from one end. Okay, and then down the bottom here, what I do is I'll just pull my trousers up so you don't see builder's crack.
It'd be what's the crack here?
I get another tie.
Let me come in a bit nearer.
And I put the tie, it's a little bit fiddly, through the bottom. Okay, it's really simple, probably people do it anyway. And then what I do is I make sure there's enough on the ground, pull the cable up nice and tight-ish, not too tight, and then what we do is we use it like a you know, on a curtain track, how it would slide. Yeah. So when we want to work in there, we just pull that up to where we want it. We do our little work, we'll pull it up more obviously from the end. Yeah. Work on the bed, and then we're about to pull that down again to the you know, where it was when we kept the animals out.
And it keeps the netting nice and
keep the netting down,
nice and taut as well.
If they get a little bit loose, just tighten them up a bit.
Fantastic.
It's the cheapest chips, and that keeps all the birdies out.
Birdie num-nums.
So now let me show you this other little trick.
Right, let me just stand back, hold on.
It's not really a trick, it's just reminding people how things are done. So, on the ends is always the awkward bit. All I do is I make a knot at the end, like so.
Hang on, let me just turn this way because my shadow's in.
Push the knot down to the ground, put a peg that way, put another peg tight in there,
like a crisscross,
that way.
Fantastic.
Can't come out. Simples. And if you're using wood, then you can just put a cable tie there, but they're solid metal, so they ain't going to move. And that's our protection from
the birds.
From the birds. So if you show them, Trace.
Let's have a look.
We have a 50 metre run, a 50 foot. I keep saying metres, don't I? 50 foot run, about 15 or so metres, and
12 bays in each one.
12 bays at 1.2 or whatever they are.
Yep.
Roughly. And that now is a protected tunnel from birds, rabbits, and all the things we can get here. I don't know if it's going to keep the boar out. Definitely not. But
hopefully they won't be inquisitive.
They won't be inquisitive at the moment. But like we said, we're going to have a big fencing round here, and it'll be 1.2 metres high.
Yeah. And
the only thing that would get over that would be a deer, but I don't think they'd jump it.
No.
Because they know they're going to get stuck in there possibly, and there'll be something on the top to deter them. And then if that don't work, I have a shotgun that I can.
We'll delete that bit. Well, no, they actually shoot deer. So
we'll go round this side, the other side of the hedging. So
yeah.
we'll contain that hedging inside here. This will be a footway here and all this.
It'll go all the way round, won't it?
It's slowly coming now. It's getting exciting, isn't it?
It just looks so lovely. If you could see what we see,
yeah.
It just looks so tidy now, doesn't it?
And I'm going to take you over to the black gold, the compost that we make, homemade compost.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you where we're at with that, because I've just turned them over with the digger and put them in a position where the one that's ready, there's one that's ready now, and there'll be another one ready at the end of winter. So we've got a concession.
And it smells lovely, doesn't it?
It smells sweet, doesn't it? It's got like sweet earthy smell.
Yeah, it's just lovely. I love that smell.
But there you are, guys. If that helps you out, simple. So focus down here. So you've got your knot on the end there. Stops that all moving. Closes that all in for you. If you wanted to, you could put some bricks here if you wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary.
No.
Because these will pull it down anyway, look.
That'll be more than enough.
And that should hold them down.
Yep.
There you go.
Fantastic.
So folks, it's coming to the end of the day now.
Busy day we've had today.
Yeah, going to go and get some food. Just got to pop to my friend Lionel's, drop the apples off to him in a wheelbarrow. He's across the road.
Then off to Claire's to get some walnuts.
Yeah, go and get some walnuts, have something to eat, and then rest for the rest of the evening.
Shower.
Yeah, definitely need a shower. But I want to just spin you around and show you something just before we go on this video. Okay, so here we go. I earlier mixed up with a digger the two piles that were finished. One was heavier with horse manure, and one had more sheep's and poultry dung mixed in. That was that one there, and the other one, plus all the other stuff we had in it. But I wanted to show you now, this is so beautiful now. It's just luscious. Smells lovely. It's got a little bit of moisture in it, holds together. It's just perfect for what we want. And the thing is there's quite a few tonnage there, and that lot there will sustain our 8 rows we've got up here for 1 year. There'll be enough for there, and some over, some more. There's more than enough there. And then the second pile is the one I turned over, which is our new pile, which has got hay, dung, grass cuttings, straw. It's got a bit of mix of everything. And then when you see us this morning, we was cutting round the apple tree over there, so it's nice and clear underneath now. We can gather the apples next year, even though there's a few on there still. And that was the cuttings from the pear tree and the apple tree. So we're going to leave them there, and we're going to source like I said earlier, a nice chipper, heavy duty one, you know, with some good horsepower, so we could put up to say 2.5 or 3 inch logs through eventually. which we won't be doing because we're using it for fire, but you know, you want it better, stronger than it is weaker. And then we'll shred that and then put that pile there. So this pile will build over time with all the clippings and cuttings we've got to do for our woodlands. As you can see, all the woodlands there, you've seen it all before anyway, all the other stuff, all that stuff at the back here, there's loads to do. And then keeping that nice oak hedge going along there, sorted out. And last but not least, and this is the end after this one, but there's the hoop tunnel complete. Okay, it's done, looks nice and professional, straight. It's going to be functional as well, work properly. We did this in England, the same system, and we had rain, storms, it stayed there, and then when we wanted to work on it, like with the cable ties I showed you, we just lifted them up like a curtain all the way down 1 inch, and then Tracy always goes on her knee pad and works away, keeping them weeded and such. But tell me what you think of that, guys. There you go. And that will be 1 of 3 possibly of those. And the rest will be open beds because there'll be different type of vegetables and stuff growing in there. But anyway, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this gardening. And I hope you do stick with us. I know you've joined us because of the renovation stuff mainly. But I hope you stick with us with the gardening. Because we've got loads to come and it's the way we live in, our way of life. And thank you for watching, and don't forget, like, share and subscribe.